If you talk about Kano, I mean, even though now you defend them saying that they were trying to wet the stadium for football matches,
yes.
No problem. What about Imo State, where the governor also refused Senator Hope Uzodinma from using the stadium, and that's somebody who's supposed to be in his own party?
No, but I saw, if you look at the media, footages, this was conducted in a stadium. Was it conducted in a Marion Square? Magwe.
Well,
no, he refused him the use of the stadium.
About that one, honestly, but I strongly believe that as Democrats, I strongly believe as Democrats, we should open the political field for mass participation and entrenchment of constitutionalism and rule of law. Therefore, we should, as a matter of urgency, try to leave this kind of primordial sentiments and go to the basics. You see, getting a stadium will not amount to amassing of votes. It is not what brings votes. If I campaign, even at the Market Square, if people like me, they will vote for me.
Let us talk about your commitment. I mean, both your party's commitment to peace. Because some people will say that, at the end of the day, what we want is for either candidate to emerge and rule a country that is still together. Would you say that all of these antics that we're saying, how do you think that Nigeria will emerge after these elections? Do you think we will emerge more divided or more united? Mr. Chidoka.
Well, the government of APC has been a very divisive government. It's been very divisive in his approach in governance. He has divided Nigerians back to his fault lines. The president has to go about defending his appointments as being on merit, where he has populated the government with only people from his own ethnic group and then from his own part of the country.
Those are your accusations. Those are your accusations against APC. But some people will say that, what have you done, to escalate that? If indeed that is the situation, wouldn't you say that your party is exploiting those fault lines even further because elections are approaching?
We're not exploiting the fault line. The division is there. What is happening is that PDP represents an opportunity for Nigerians to come back again to unity. That is why the number one instrument, the first thing President Atiku Abubakar will do when he becomes a president, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, is that he will unify Nigerians. So our key goal is that there will be peace. And that peace is predicated on two key things. One is that there is free and fair election. Two is that the atmosphere is devoid of intimidation. What the Kano State Governor have done, what the governors are doing, the statements by the Kaduna State government is creating an atmosphere of intimidation. That's what we're saying. And that if you continue this way, then the elections is bound to cause trouble. After all, for the first time we heard about the blood of baboons and dogs in Nigeria was from the APC. When they said if we lose this election, this is what will happen. So we're saying that we're not going to go into that level of hate speech. We're not going to go into that level of incitement of the people. We're only going to follow the due process. We're going to call on everybody in the world, including Nigerians and those outside Nigerians, to say, this is our plan for Nigeria. This is our program for Nigeria. This is the election we want. And I listened to Igini here when he spoke about the electoral process. And I also believe that if you listen to him, you will think that all is well with INEC. Yes, INEC was planned to be well at this point, and maybe at subsequent points in this interview we'll talk about it. But PDP is fully committed to peace. And our commitment to peace is hinged on the fact that we are the party that conducted an election that an opposition won. And I believe that opposition should be willing to step aside if they lose an election, not to intimidate us in an election.
Mr. Madibo, he accuses your party of, of inciting Nigerians or of dividing Nigerians. I think that's a proper word to use, that of dividing Nigerians. How do you react to that? Would you say that that's what your party has done?
I am always in sync or in tune with the philosophical details of Joseph Santayana, who is copiously quoted as saying that if experience is not retained, infancy is perpetual. Let's go back to basics. Let's look at history. Whose party is the first to bring about ethnicity, about religion, about geographical location, and about, these sentiments that have been highlighted? It's PDP. Go back to before 2003, to 2015. Look at the PDP under Goodluck Jonathan. It brought divisive tendencies in this country that has been able to marginalize one section of the country. Can you
give us concrete instances? The reason I said it was because he cited instances. He talked about appointments, which was one sore point in his administration. Some people talked about how the president kept on appointing people from a certain part of the country, in favor of others. I mean, they accused him of nepotism. That was the accusation.
We're all journalists, we're all Nigerians here. Just have a flashback on the appointment of Goodluck Jonathan and tell me if there was no sentiments and there was no sectionalism in those appointments. Tell me. No, they are there for the record. You know them. If I start, it will take me up till tomorrow, because virtually the whole segments of the political class, most of the hierarchy, they were from one section of the country.
Mr. Modibo,
even the military, the service chiefs and everything, they're from one part of the country. Let me tell you what I remember. I mean, I do not remember very clearly that one of the accusations against President Goodluck Jonathan was nepotism. I don't remember that. I remember that corruption, yes, was one of the accusations that trailed his government. Yes. There are a number of other accusations, but nepotism wasn't one I remember very clearly. But what I remember up to the run-up of the 2015 elections was that they were very divisive, because it was a northern president, a northern candidate against a sitting southern president, and so it would seem that the country was divided along those lines. How would you say that your party has done anything to be able to, first of all, heal those lines and ensure that they do not come up again during these elections? No. You see, if you look at the turnout of people during these elections, you see that this President Muhammadu Buhari, a man of character, a man of distinction, came on board with this patriotic and nationalistic process of intervention in good governance to make Nigeria work. And because of his policies and programs of action, you see that today Nigeria is more united as far as I'm concerned, because I believe if you go to all these states where he has gone, where he's transversed for campaigns today, go to the south, go to the west, go to the east, look at the mammoth crowd. If these people, and President Muhammadu Buhari is not a man, unlike in those days where people were dishing out money for people to come to campaigns and what have you. This man came out with a program of trader money to give traders and everything to make Nigeria work. But in those days, what we had was looter money, because these people have been looting. They just went, they were only dancing Owambe, and at the end of the day, there was no policy, no program of action, and nothing. Then they came and captured. Let me tell you, from 2003 to 2000, under Obasanjo, there was never a time the PDP won election in this country.
Let us talk about.
So, if we're talking of the issue at this point in time,
some people will debate that with you, but let us not go into that. Let's talk about the Southeast, which complained about marginalization. They complained the most about marginalization. They thought that their people were left on the back burner and were not received. In fact, there were some complaints about how the president even handled IPOB. We just remember now that Mr. Chidoka made the accusation that IPOB is now a proscribed organization, yet when they protested in the Southeast recently, police were seen escorting them. How do you react to that?
Well,
would you say that, is this a soft peddling? Is it that the president is trying to buy sentiment ahead of the elections?
No,
precisely what could inform that?
Maybe this is coming from Chidoka, but as far as I'm concerned, I've not seen that. I've not seen any footage or anything where I see police escorting IPOB. If you have it, just show Nigerians. I can show you. But as far as I'm concerned, the issues here is President Muhammadu Buhari is the most accepted candidate on Nigerian soil as of today.
Would you
go to the southwest, go to the southeast, look at the mammoth crowd, look at the people that came out or are coming out to welcome this man.
As a closing remark,
the PDP is already jittery. They know that they have been defeated already because of this mammoth crowd. They can hang on to anything.
Mr. Modibo, as a closing reaction, how would you say that your party is reassuring the opposition that indeed they will provide a level playing field for all candidates, regardless of whether or not they are in their party?
Good. You see, when this president came on board, he promised 3 fundamental things. 1, to fight corruption, tackle insecurity, and also fix the economy, as well as entrenchment of constitutionalism, rule of law, opening the political space for mass participation, and also looking at...
Those were the promises. How are you ensuring that you fulfill those promises?
And looking at the electoral process, open the electoral process for credible elections. Honestly, I tell you, if you know President Buhari, if you know him very well, he's a man that can never influence any electoral outcome. He will never influence any electoral outcome. He said. So
you're saying they should just trust the integrity of the president?
The president is a man of integrity and a man of his own words. And I can tell you, based on the knowledge I have of him from 2003, I know that this election is going to be one of the best. And having Professor, the INEC chairman, Mahmoud, honestly and sincerely, I have not seen any reason why PDP is so jittery that every small thing will boycott election. Is that democracy? Every small thing you want to run away. That's
your comment. How would you say that this government can reassure you that indeed they will provide level playing field for the elections?
Well, the government have shown consistently that they are incapable of providing a level playing field. And I will just cite 3 examples. One, in the history of this country, no president has appointed an INEC chairman from his own ethnic group. It's never happened. No president has had his niece or relative of any sort working as a commissioner in INEC. The moment President
regardless
Buhari
of whether
became,
they were not appointed by him or not.
Appointed by him or not. Once he became president, she could have recused herself from INEC because she's an interested party. Second one, President Jonathan, under his time, a few weeks to the election, he had the Inspector General of Police, who was a Northerner, left office. It was an opportunity, few months. It was an opportunity for him to bring a Southern Ijaw person to be IG. He still presented a Northerner to be the Inspector General of Police. This president has an Inspector General from the North. Opportunity came, the man left office. He retired 6 DIGs and some AIGs. And
My apologies, I think it was IGP Arase who conducted the 2015 elections. Who was in charge during
it was
the 2015 elections.
Abba. It was Abba that conducted the election.
Oh.
After Arase, Arase came after Abba.
Oh,
Jonathan appointed Arase after Abba. Third one is that there has been nothing. This president's integrity is in question. This is a man that promised Nigerians, I will declare my assets publicly when I assume office. 4 years into the government, he hasn't declared his assets publicly. This president is a president that promised Nigerians.
Are these the things that he must do to conduct a free and fair?
So I'm saying a pattern of not keeping agreements. So in terms of conducting free and fair elections,
yes.
I can't take him for his words. None of the things he has said he has done. None of the conventions of the country has he respected. So why do I respect him? That is why we're saying the process cannot be left to the integrity or lack of it of any man. We want institutional support. We want INEC to open up the space for the political parties to have access. We want everybody to see the process of the election and ensure that it is free and fair. For us in the
Sadly,
PDP,
we are totally out of time, Mr. Chidoka. We're totally out of time. I have to thank you both, gentlemen, for coming. Sadly, the time is never enough.
I thought you were going to give me.
I already gave you the time to, to make your closing remarks. I'm sorry, Mr. Modibo, but thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program. Ibrahim Modibo is a member, Presidential Campaign Council of the APC, and also a board member of the Abuja Broadcasting Corporation. Mr. Osita Chidoka is the Chairman, Strategy Committee of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on Sunrise Early.